Hello everybody out there, it's Karen here from Nurture Parenting and another Facebook Live. Now last week I did Facebook Live and I lost my voice. So in between last Tuesday's and today's, Karen had no voice. So it was a very quiet world in my house. Thank goodness the voice is back. So I've got a heap of questions and I've had another busy week. Let's get into it. So, how do you ask these questions on Facebook? I'm sure some of you are thinking. So what you do is you can send questions in to this comment, to this post, to the Facebook Live video, to the post that's put on earlier in the day by Julie. You can also ask me questions via Messenger, Facebook Messenger. You can ask me questions on Facebook Messages. You can ask me questions through my email at karen@nurtureparenting.com.au. So that's karen@nurtureparenting.com.au. And I search through all these things before I go live. So I've been frantically now just looking through for all your questions. And do you know what happened just 5 minutes ago? Facebook decided to give me update the app. So the phone shut down, Facebook shut down. I was like, no, that can't happen, but it did. So apologies. Right, let's get on to it. So that's how you watch Facebook Live. This is how you ask me questions. And we're going to do a competition today, which I'll get into in a moment. So the questions that I'm answering today. So I know I didn't get through to some last week because I had about 15 questions to answer. So we have Belinda and her 2.9-year-old. And Felicity Ma and Sam with his night waking. So Belinda's asking about bed transition tips from cot to bed. Felicity wants to know about the night waking and Sam. He's a 6-month-old. And then we've got Danielle and Olivia. And Danielle has had a crisis with the transition of the swaddle. So that's been a bit of a disaster last night. So no problems. Let's get to Danielle. And then Caroline Butler and Finn, who's 2 years old, and Henry, 4 months old. Now, Henry, the 4-month-old, is sleeping perfectly. It's just Finn. Finn has now decided that he would like some extra servicing. Thank you very much. And the parents have been late with him in the early hours. And now he shouts for the service. It's like, click concierge, come and get me, help me. What a nightmare, poor Caroline. And I've got Jutta and 6-month-old Leo, who's going overseas, and should she stop the 1 a.m. feed, which is a great question. So some seriously good questions this week, again. Laura and Beatrix and the dummy. And that's becoming a little bit of an issue, and she's screaming the house down too. No! Got Lauren there. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Julie in San Francisco. You're all here today. I know Lauren lives in Melbourne. Not sure where Belinda's at. Okay, and then we're on to Carrie. And Carrie's got a 4-week-old baby with reflux and a 2-year-old who's waking at 4:30. So she's got double problems there. So, hello, Caroline. Hello, Danielle. Oh, Danielle, don't feel like you're failing, love. We can sort this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, I promise. Okay? Nothing's ever failing. Nobody is ever allowed to fail, okay? And it isn't that bad. So I'm just going to give you a couple of little tips that I got last week from my cold. So I lost my voice last week. So I didn't realise last week that you can get this medical grade Manuka honey, or Manuka honey, as I've been told by my other half that I should be saying it. I'm going to call it Manuka because I think that's Karen's take on stuff. Now if you notice there, it's got an MGO, okay? So the higher the MGO, the more of the tea tree medicinal qualities are in there. So Manuka honey is produced by bees that live on the tea tree plant. And I didn't know this, so I was desperate to find a way to save my voice. I would pay anything. I would do anything to get my voice back. I'm that type of girl. It's like the voice can't go. Every year my voice goes for 3 days, and it's seriously an inconvenience. I wasn't really that sick. It was just the voice. So Manuka honey, you get the strongest grade that you can do. Ginger and apple cider vinegar. Those 3 things have saved me this week and have saved the voice. So I just thought I should do you all a favour out there because it's a cold season. And I think if we can get natural products out there working better than any antibiotics, etc., it's a better way to go. Right, so let's get into these questions. Now this Facebook Live, I'd like you to share it with your mothers groups. I'd like to share it with your friends, your sisters, your family, your relos, everybody. I'd like this Facebook Live to become global And it is already, because there's people in Hungary, in San Francisco, all over the world that are actually watching me on Facebook Live. So it's very, very exciting. And sometimes people in England as well. Okay, so I'm going to get first onto the competition. So you might remember a little while ago, we did a Facebook Live to win some Shapeeze packs. These are amazing developmental kits. Now, Karen has just realised that she's forgotten a Shapeeze pack. Can I just go and get the Shapeeze pack? I obviously thought I was really organised this week, and I'm obviously not. So just hold on a second, people. Sorry about that, people. I've gone to find the Shapeeze stuff and my other half has helpfully removed it. So let me just message him quickly and say, find the Shapeeze stuff. I'll be with you back in 2. Okay, sorry about that. So I've told Steve to come and find the Shapeeze packs. I think he's gone. I'm not sure whether he'll come back with them, so I do apologise. But you might remember they're lovely A3 and A4 packs. And they're great for your fine motor skills. And it's now school holidays, so we can get those kids off that screen time and hopefully into the Shapeeze. So what you have to do is you could win one of 10 activity packs. So you get an A3 and an A4. It's worth $49.90 per pack. So each prize is like serious, amazing. For 2.5 to 6-year-olds. Tell us why you'd like to win it, okay? What Australian state you live in, and tag the Shapeeze Facebook page in your comment. So there's 3 things to do. The T's and C's are on the website for Nurture Parenting. And you could be a winner. There's 10 prizes for Shapeeze. 10. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook. My partner Steve has just replied back with, he has put the Shapeeze packs in storage in the man cave. Can you believe it? Just when you think your life is together and it isn't. Hi Jessica. Who else have I got here today? Some of the people's there. I've got Ali as well. Hi. I know. Just when you think your life is together. Isn't it nice to know that even Karen's life goes a bit skew-whiff now and again? Quite often, actually. Right, so let's get to these questions that I didn't answer last week. So, I've got a question from Belinda. Yay. Yayo. And a 2.9-year-old. And it's a cot to bed transition tips. So she says, hi Karen, I posted this question last week, but we ran out of time. We did. We had a lot last week, an hour and a half of questions. I'm after tips for transitioning an active 2.9-year-old from cot to toddler bed. He's quite happy in his cot and still fits in it, so we aren't in a hurry, but I'm keen to create a smooth transition for him without baby gates when we take the side down and give him freedom. We currently do bath and teeth and have a play in his room. Stores in his bean bag in his room and then one in bed. Once in bed, one story. Is there more we can do, or do we just need to ride out what is to come? Many thanks, Belinda. And this is a seriously great question, because I see so many kids that are moved way too early, okay? And then that creates huge problems, because, yeah, you're absolutely right, they've got an escape route, haven't they? So, we're going to look at let's just move this a bit closer. There it is, because I feel like I'm very far away there. That's better. So we need to look at how we do this, because if you're moving a child under the age of 2, if you don't need to move them, please don't move them. The earlier we move them, the bigger sleep problems we cause, because then we get temperature control issues, okay? I would be looking at, if he wants to stay in that cot, if he could stay in that cot till he's 3.5, 4, I would be tempted to leave him in, actually, Belinda, okay? He doesn't need to move out yet. And once they get to 4 or 5, they have less impulse control issues. So impulse control is a big issue under 3. Now he is nearly 3, so just look and see how much room there is in that cot. If he is still happy in his cot, and a lot of kids see their cot as like, it's like a warm, comforting place. I remember going to see this GP in the city, and her little boy was still, hello Lauren, was still in a cot until he was 4. So if I was having a child and buying a cot, I would buy the biggest, deepest cot there was. Okay. Hi Janice. I've got my cousin Janice from over in England. Told you, this thing is going global. Hope you're good, Janice. So I would buy the biggest, deepest cot that you possibly could. Okay. Now, Belinda, should you move him? I think nearly 3 years old, he's not far off moving. But if there's no rush to do this, why do it? Okay, if you don't need the cot for anybody else, I wouldn't be moving him. I'd be leaving him until he is seriously too big for this, or he thinks he'd like to escape from it. Because of this impulse control issue. So past 3, kids are much better with their impulse control issues. Okay, now if you were to move him, how would you manage it? I think your bedtime routine is good. I think doing your stories, one in the chair, one in the bed, is a great idea. And if, say, he does decide to jump out, 50 times because he's 2 years old, and it could happen to my sister, as most of you know, then, you just need to sit by his bed, and it really, within a night, you can have peace again. So it's how you manage this, and you're right, to be forewarned is forearmed, Belinda. So if he decides to jump out 50 times because he's 2 and he can, sit by his bed and offer to hold his hand, but pretend you're asleep, okay? Because he'll come back to you, because it's you that he wants. He doesn't want to be all running around the house. See, many parents get worried that these kids are going to run riot and run everywhere. They don't. They just want their parent. So giving yourself to them is the way to sort things out. It's the opposite to what most parents think. Most parents think moving away is the problem. It's moving to them, giving yourself to them. It will not create a lifelong addiction to a parent or to doing parental presence or whatever, but just being with them to help them when you've transitioned them, really, really important. So I hope that's helped you, Belinda. I've not really given you an answer because I'm not somebody who runs into answers if I don't need to. Okay. And I think it'll go either way, this. I think you'll decide, and your 2.9-year-old, he will decide about this. Okay. So let's give you those sort of little, let him decide, Belinda. All right, on to Felicity, Ma, and 6-month-old Sam, and night waking for feeds. So Felicity has a 6-month-old boy, Sam, who still wakes 2 to 3 times a night for a feed, usually at 12, midnight, 3 o'clock and 6, or 11, 2 and 5. He's breastfed and she's got supply issues, but he is a very healthy weight of 8.5 kilos and eats 3 solid meals a day and loves his food. So struggle to get him to settle without a feed if it's been more than 3 hours. Life has been tough since the 4-month leap when he started waking 5 times a night. Things are better now, but I'm exhausted and have my own health issues, so I really need more rest than I'm getting. And I can understand that, Felicity. He self-settles during the day, 75% of the time. He settles reasonably well, but resettling is tough. Okay, I think you have a settling problem here, Felicity. I don't think this is just resettling that is the problem, or the waking. If he can't do a 2-hour nap in the afternoon and you're having to resettle him with a feed or some other way to resettle him, this is a settling issue, okay? So it's important that we know what the actual issue is rather than jumping in and fixing it, okay? So when you put him down at night time, I'd just like to know, is he put down awake or are you feeding him to sleep? If you're feeding him to sleep, then this is settling, and this needs looking at from a settling point of view, okay? And if you keep on putting the sticking plaster over it, eventually this is going to come done in a massive way, Felicity. I've had babies waking up 10 times at night time at 10 months of age for a breastfeed that have had a settling issue. So at the moment you've only got 3 feeds that you're waking up for, but give it to, and you've got a boy to 8 months old when that next sleep regression is hitting, so 6 to 8 months of your next sleep regression, I think you could have a potentially big problem here. All right, and the fact you said life has been tough since the 4-month leap when he was waking 5 times a night, I think if he hasn't been taught to self-settle after that 4-month leap, then this is a settling issue and this needs addressing, okay? So if you need to come back to me to find out how to settle him, a phone consult would do that. It takes me about 3/4 an hour to an hour to do a phone consult. There's 2 ways you can approach this. You can either do a check-in method or you can sit in the room with your hand on the mattress and pretend to be asleep. It doesn't matter which you do, okay? But it would take me more than just that quick sentence to sort this out. And then we can look at what you do with your resettling, because if you can't self-settle, there's no point looking at taking any of these feeds away and resettling. It's just not going to work very well, okay? Because your problem isn't in the middle of the night where you think it is, unfortunately. It's actually at the start of the night. So how many feeds should I allow during the night time? Now, most of you know out there that if I've got a tired mum and she's absolutely exhausted and you've got health issues, you know, I've got lupus and autoimmune disease, Felicity, so I know what sleep does to health issues. I'm in remission, so I know it's huge, is sleep. Sleep is everything, which is why I feel very, very passionately about getting mummies their sleep back. Because when you sleep, you're well, you're healthy, everybody's healthy in the house. And just, you know, three wake-ups a night will be enough to make you, you know, ill. And I'd love to help you, Felicity, get this sorted out. So, night feeds, I would say none. I'd actually take them away. He doesn't actually need them after 6 months. Some people would say that's very controversial, Karen, but when I've got a mum who's sick and I've got a baby who's thriving, and I know you've had supply issues, but do you know what you're going to find, Felicity? That supply is actually going to be much better after you've stopped those night feeds and you've got to help him to self-settle. You could have a seriously amazing boy on your hands and you could get some seriously amazing sleep for yourself and for him. And it would only take a few nights to turn this around. It wouldn't be that hard, I promise. So any tips to help improve your sleep? Yep, I'd look at the self-settling stuff, okay? How can I settle him without a feed? Aha, so now I'm getting to it. That, yes, this is a settling issue. So we need to look at doing some sleep training, Felicity. It's not going to be that hard. You're not going to break him. You're not going to break yourself. A 6-month-old boy is actually pretty easy to sort out. And that is quite an easy age to do. So I was just getting on top of this pronto. The sooner you do this, the easier it is for him and for yourself to do. So I'd be looking at doing some settling work, and I would contact me, Felicity, to get on top of this. It would take too much of this Facebook Live to go into it, I'm afraid. Okay, but just know you can do this. Okay, so I hope that's helped you, Felicity, and I hope you contact me because I'd love to give you good sleep and health back. It would make me very happy. All right, next I'm coming on to Danielle with Olivia. Now, Danielle had a crisis last night, and I'm sure many of you have crises like this. Danielle, I think her little girl Olivia is 8 months old. So last week we talked to Danielle about getting rid of the swaddle. Now, this baby's quite old to be getting rid of a swaddle, and I'm sure Danielle doesn't need this spelling out to her. But she's been up all night, and I don't know how to do it, and I'm exhausted and ready to cave. She self-settles in the swaddle, into bed awake, dummy in, and asleep within 5 minutes, no hassle. Last night we did the usual bed routine, put her in on swaddled, and straight away, mum, 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 wah, dummy still in. She isn't a crier and never has been, but she cried and I felt terrible. Now, can I just tell you, Danielle, that crying is actually therapeutic. Babies need to cry to help sort this out, okay? So it is the opposite to what you're actually thinking. And allowing her to actually I'd probably take a dummy away as well. I know you're probably going, oh my goodness, I can't believe just what Karen said. But I would take the dummy away and I would take the swaddle away. I'd love to come and help you, okay? So Karen does a few pro bono cases each year. So if somebody's on a very... The Shapeeze man has delivered the Shapeeze. So I'll show you those in a moment. Thank you, Shapeeze man. So I've been looking at some settling work, Danielle. I think you've actually got a settling issue here as well as a resettling issue. I think it's the same as the last mummy, Felicity. Got to 4 o'clock and I gave in, put her in the swaddle and she went straight to sleep until 8, but is now overtired and cranky from such a restless night. She sleeps 6:30 till 4, then 4:30 to 7 in the swaddle. I feel like I'm failing her. Her daddy has a back injury at the moment, has just got out of hospital, so is unable to pick her up or hold her, so it's on me. I don't want to hold her back, but how can the transition be easier on us both? Wow, that was long, sorry. I know, Danielle. I can't do this. I think you need me, Danielle. I do. I seriously think you need me to sort this out. I don't think you're going to sort this out by yourself, love. I really don't. At the moment, what you're doing is a sticking plaster approach. And it'll be huge. And like I say, it'll just blow up in your face, Danielle, unfortunately. You know, I had a baby up in Newcastle, and this baby was waking up 20 times at night time. And, you know, Laura and me will help you, Danielle. You can do this, okay? And you can't break Olivia, because you're going to be with her. You're going to be helping her. You're actually going to stay in the room with her. I know, Danielle. I know you're in tears. Can we all send hugs to Danielle? And Bree's sending hugs to you, Danielle. Bree's been through this, and Bree didn't find things easy to start with at all. Okay, nobody out there finds things easy. Can we all send some love hearts to Danielle? Because Danielle's crying and she's feeling sad. And I know there's a great Facebook community out there, Nurture Parenting. And Nicole's sending you some hugs as well. And Jess Kybert sending you some hugs as well, Danielle. And Caroline's sending you some. And Julie's sending you some from San Francisco. There's lots of hugs coming to you, Danielle. We can help you do this. I can help you do this, okay? Lauren's saying, it's okay, Danielle, it's very hard. You can do this. You've got an army of mums here behind you, Danielle, and we're all going to help you, all right? So every week we help somebody who's doing it tough. And I think it's really, you know, credit to all of you ladies and dads as well, if there's any dads out there. And Sarah says, you've got this, mumma, you've got this. I know, Danielle, that's hard when your mum's died. But, you know, you've got me. You know me. Laura's told you about me. I would come and help you, okay? Like I said, I do some pro bono cases every year. I don't tell too many people about them because otherwise I wouldn't have a business. I'd be going down under. But do you know what I do with some people? I actually reduce the cost and I say, pay me over a year. Do you know that? And I even had somebody recently who was paying me back $50, you know, a fortnight. I'd even do a month. Okay, there's many ways that this can be done. Okay, Karen is a very negotiable sort of girl, Danielle. So when we finish this Facebook Live today, get on the phone to me, love. Okay, and let's get this sorted because I can't have you having another bad night. And you know, sometimes I've become like the mummies who haven't got mummies. They're sort of like surrogate grandma type thing. And I'm actually going to set up a grandma service very soon, but it isn't here yet. So at the moment, Karen will be the grandma service, okay? And I am grandma age. I will fess out there. I am grandma age. So I'll help you, Danielle. So there's many mummies out there that don't have mummies, and I do help a lot of them. And it's no shame to put your hand up and say, I need help, okay? It's actually a good thing to say, I need help. There's so many parents out there that just accept things and think, oh, it'll just go away, it'll just become better. Julie's sending you so much love from San Francisco, Danielle. She really is, okay? Your mum is looking down on you now, okay? And she's probably made you say this and made me say this to make you get the help, okay? Not sure if you believe in stuff like that. Karen does. She's a bit crunchy and cookie la at times, okay? I know you're exhausted, okay? This mum gig, it's really hard, okay? Nicole's saying she doesn't have a mum either, and it will get easier. It really will, okay? Laura says it took us nearly 6 months to pay off our first appointment, and then we realised a year later that I still had $25. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Karen, I am very, very understanding, okay? You know, I've been through hardship times in my life and had health issues and you name it. And I've been on Skid Row, on the bones of my backside, without 2 cents to rub together. And, you know, there's always somebody out there to help, okay? And I'm that person, Danielle, okay? Me and you are going to become besties, okay, love? But let's get on the phone after this. Okay, Laura will give you my phone number if you don't have it already. And let's chat about this afterwards, love, okay? So big hug from Karen. And a big kiss from me, okay? But let's talk straight after this, Danielle. So go and get yourself a cup of tea, get the tissues, and just know that it's not long before I talk to you, love, okay? So we'll chat soon, Danielle. And thank you, ladies, thank you, mummies, thank you, everybody out there for helping Danielle. You're awesome. All of you are seriously awesome. And it just, oh, even Karen's getting slightly emotional today, which isn't good. Christine's good. I can't wait for my visit from Karen. Likewise, Christine, I can't wait to come and help you, love. I'm going to Lithgow this weekend. Hi, Brooklyn. Hello. How's Miss Alba doing? Or should I not ask? I hope she's doing good. So I'm going to Lithgow this weekend for a 3-nighter, and I'm trotting around here, there and everywhere, but it won't be long, Christine, before I'm coming to see you. So I'm glad that my voice has come back and my throat is a lot better. All right, so now we're getting on to Caroline Butler and Finn, who is 2 years old, and Henry, who is 4 months old. Now, the trouble here is not the one that you might think. Teething and ear infection, no. Those two things go together, Brooklyn, they do, I know. Hopefully you got some antibiotics and, you know, it'll all get better, as you know, but it's tough, okay? Alrighty. So, Caroline says, "Hi Karen, hope you're well. I'm much better, thank you, Caroline. Even though my voice is not perfect, but it's getting there. I'm going to have some Manuka in a moment. Manuka, whatever you want to call it. I've just had a question for you. About 2 boys, Finn, 2 and 4 months, and a new addition, Henry, is 4 months. Finn has been a great sleeper since he was little, and you actually helped us with his transition to his big bed when he was 19 months old. I do remember, Caroline, very well. So thanks very much for that. Congratulations on the new addition, Caroline. Very exciting. We did the parental presence thing for a few weeks. We stopped him getting out of bed, and then we were able to leave the room around 15-20 minutes after going into his room with him and reading some stories, which was great. Somewhere in the middle of his young brother arriving, he gave up his dummy of his own accord. Yay! We've been talking about it for months, then got sick a few times from daycare. This resulting in one of us jumping into bed with him to comfort him so he didn't lose it and wake his brother. And we'll see how this has happened. Easily happens. Now we're stuck and we have to stay with him in the room till he falls asleep. This sounds a little bit like Beatrix, Laura. I'm thinking there's similarities here. And after an hour, we try and sneak out. I just got into bed with him and I was so tired. Tonight it took Dad an hour and a half, of which, you know, if there wasn't 2 of us, would be bloody impossible. Any advice will be greatly appreciated, and we really don't know what to do besides parental presence again. But that doesn't seem to work either. We are both exhausted. The irony is the baby is sleeping until 4 o'clock after going down, at 5:30. Many thanks, Karen. All right, so waking at 1 o'clock screaming, and after an hour, and then it still wasn't asleep. So I'll be looking at a few things here, Caroline. I'll be looking at TV time in the day, screen time in the day, because they're things that cause kids issues with sleep and struggling to get back to sleep again. Stop any screen time 2 hours before bedtime, really important. Looking at things high in tryptophan and high fat as well. But I'd also be looking at temperature control here, okay? So temperature control has been a massive issue the last few weeks because it has been cold. And I know it's not, right, doesn't get any TV time, excellent, Caroline. I have a feeling this could be temperature control, okay? Tell me what he wears in bed. Now, I've been putting a lot of merino wool and wool jumpers onto babies and children and wool socks onto babies and children recently. And that extra layer has made a massive difference to most of them. 21 degrees, it doesn't matter about the room, okay? The room temperature actually doesn't count, okay? It is about the layers. So the baby that I went to see that had a seriously, seriously coldest house I've ever been to in a very long time, in the eastern suburbs. Yep, merino vest and fleecy PJs and socks. Ah. Does he have a doona or does he have a sleeping bag? That's what I'm curious about. I have a feeling this is temperature control, okay? Because kids lose their body heat 4 times as fast as an adult, okay? Yes, a doona, aha. That gives me a big clue, Caroline. So a child who's 2 years and 4 months of age can't problem solve to keep themselves warm, and they don't keep the doona on themselves. So I would be putting some extra layers on him. I'd even be putting some extra warm, sort of like tracky bottoms, and I'll be getting a wool jumper on top of everything else he's got, okay? And the doona doesn't count because kids will take the doona off them if they get too hot easily. And at this age, he can do, so he's not going to overheat. So I'd be looking at some sort of sleepwear, something it's got merino wool in, not cotton. So merino wool, really important. Now, as you know, I'm in a partnership with Hello Night Kids. Their sleepwear is amazing. They've got this body warming vest that me and Tu designed together. Something like that could be enough to keep him asleep, Caroline. Okay? So this body warming vest is like a gillet. It's like a little waistcoat thing that zips up. It's made of merino wool and it's padded with merino wool. So if you had your PJs on, then you had a merino vest, and then you got your fleecy PJs and your socks. If you just put this body warming vest on top, so have you got an actual body warming vest? Is merino vest, is it underneath the PJs? But because I've been thinking this body warming vest would be a way to go, but I think it needs more layers on. So body temperature, massive issue. Room temperature doesn't matter how warm your room is. I prefer between 16 and 18, and then layers, that's the key. So that's what I'll be looking at first, Caroline. And then I would be going back to parental presence, but I wouldn't be lying on the bed with him. Okay, right, aha. So this is an actual thick body warming vest, okay, that's on top, okay. So I'll be looking at getting one of those body warming vests or putting a wool jumper on him. It needs a lot more layers on him, and just don't worry about the doona. The doona does not matter at all. It is about your top half, your core and your arms, okay. So when I put a jumper on this little girl, her arms have been cold previously, and then it was like a game changer. It really was, just putting a thick wool jumper on that was a hand knit, and she slept, and she's sleeping through every night till 6:30. And this house is like an ice block. I found it really cold, and I had 2 jumpers on in bed, two merino wool jumpers on. I can't believe it. I had my PJs, my top, and 2 merino wool jumpers and a doona. It was that cold, but it kept me toasty warm. Okay, it's warmth. What does warmth have to do with night waking? If kids are cold, they can't get back to sleep again, Melissa. It's a massive problem. Okay, because their body temperature, they lose it 4 times as fast as an adult. And when the body temperature drops at between 3 to 4 a.m. usually, but it's on the slide from midnight as it gets colder. But body temperature is a massive issue with night waking in winter in Australia. It's huge. I never get the same amount of night waking in summer in Australia, ever. I get early morning waking at 5 o'clock because of the low melatonin, but I don't get these 1, 2, 3 o'clock wakings up. So most of the time it is heat. If you're not warm enough, you can't get back to sleep again. And back to parental presence, Caroline, yeah, but never lie down in the bed ever again. Okay. What temp would be good at night? I think between 16 and 18, Melissa. The SIDS people say 16 to 20. I'm a 16 to 18 degree C girl, because the lower it is, it's less likely to block your sinuses up. As most of you know, in the north of England, where my sister still lives, she doesn't have heating on in the house, and it is -7 in winter there. And the kids just have layers, and they've never been night wakers. So if my sister can get her kids sleeping through in -7 in England, I think these children in Australia can. I think we're in denial sometimes about our winter. And, you know, even this last week, my partner Steve was saying, oh, we don't need a heater, Karen, do we? We can survive with just the heated floors in the bedroom. We don't need to go out and buy a heater. I said, yeah, Steve, whatever. Because I'm not here hardly at night time, so I don't know how cold it is. And he has been seriously cold this last week. The Australian has finally admitted he is actually cold. So I think it does get really cold over here. I think children get really cold and babies get really cold. So Tu does the most amazing work with Hello Night Kids. I'm a big believer in her stuff. And should we wait during the day to ensure they don't oversleep? Yes, Tash, absolutely. But I'll come back to that. I need to know what age of child you're talking about, Tash, and what you're talking about. Okay, so I just need a bit more information there. So, Melissa, I hope that's helped you. But seriously, you know, it's huge. If I have to wear two jumpers in bed, I've learned how to layer because I've grown up in the north of England. It's we are in denial over here. We seriously are. It gets really cold in a lot of suburbs. I've been to places up in the hills last year, and in the hills it was down to it was down to -1 night. I had to scrape the ice off my windscreen. A 4-month-old. Yes, Tash, you do. Your 4-month-old Tash needs no more than about 4 to 5 hours in the day, and wake after 2 hours of continuous sleep any time in the day. Easy answer to that one, Tash. But go by mood as well. If your baby's happy by bedtime, they've had enough sleep. Yeah, I agree. You know, manage that day and night sleeping, and you'll get what you need. If you let them sleep all day, they'll be up all night. So absolutely. Right, so I hope that's helped you with keeping your little babies and toddlers warm. Just have a little sip of this Manuka. Oh, Karen's throat. I've got to show you, I've got a seriously cute cup here. It's my Peter Rabbit cup. I brought it back with me from overseas last year, and I went for Beatrix Potter's 150th year anniversary. What are the other reasons a baby wakes at night? Oh, Melissa, heaps of them. Loads. Too many to go into. There's a blog on this about why babies wake at night time. It's food related, it is milk feeds related, it is dummies falling, oh, it's everything. I'm sure there's a blog on this, okay? So I'm not going to go into that now, Melissa, because it is a massive question you just asked me. But if you want, I'll go into it next Tuesday. But that will take me all of a long time to answer that one. All right, on to Jutta. And Jutta's Thwaites has got a 6-month-old little boy, Leo, and she's going overseas, and she wants to know, should she stop the 1 o'clock feed before she goes overseas? Seriously, great question. And I can understand why you'd want to, you know, why you asking that question, and it is very tempting to keep it. I probably would, okay? Because you're literally going to go, you're going to Germany, go around the other side of the world, and I think it's going to help you. However, try not to do more than 1 night feed when you're over there. Try and do resettling the rest of the time. Have him up in daylight hours, awake. Try not to let him sleep too much in the day. It's that balance, okay? And he's on 3 meals a day. Yep, looks like he's doing really well with his solids. Yep, morning sleep. Yep, for an hour, sleeps for an hour. Arvo sleep has an hour and a half. Perfect. Yep. Right, I'd be avoiding that milk feed after wake around 4. I'll be stopping that. So I'm reducing your feeds down now to 3 feeds a day, and that 1 at night time. And then he'll actually eat a lot more food in the day, and that'll help you when you go overseas, Jutta. Add fat to everything. That balance of a 1/3 protein, 1/3 low GI carbs, and 1/3 veggies or fruit in every meal. Really high fat, really important. But I'll be dropping that milk feed after his wake at 4 o'clock. He doesn't need it. Then he'll eat more dinner, main dessert, and then he has a bedtime milk feed, and then a feed at 1-ish. Yep, I think that's absolutely fine. Yep, I think what you're doing is perfect, Jutta. So just needs that milk feed to go away, and that'll be so much better. Okay. All right, so on to Laura. Laura's a similar question to the one I answered previously about the dummy. Now, Beatrix is 18 months old and she screams, and I know Laura's kids do scream, they're very strong personalities. And she screams, "Dummy!" at the top of her lungs until someone comes and finds it for her. She's done this twice so far, but twice too many. And usually by this time she's far awake, that I have to sit up in bed and cuddle her back to sleep. Aha. Right, so I guess that Beatrix in a cot still, Laura. It would take 1 night to turn this around. You could put Tilly into the bedroom with you on the mattress. Do not give her the dummy back. So I presume, where is the dummy in this equation? Is the dummy on the floor? Is it on the mattress in the cot? So you've got the option of putting 5 dummies all the way around the cot, okay? Or you do nothing, you take it away. You've got a choice here, okay? Now, when you return a dummy to a child, you don't put it back into their mouth or their hand, okay? Put it back into the cot and point to it. So then she learns to problem solve herself. Because when we give them something and we put it back in and then we cuddle them, we've reinforced all that behaviour, okay? So I hope that's helped you, Laura. But that's what you need to do, love. So you either take it away or you do what I've said. If it's out the cot, you return it once, put it on the mattress, do not put it into her mouth. Right, usually in the cot, but won't search for it herself. Right, we need to teach her how to search. She's been slightly lazy, but she's only 18 months old. Seriously cute, I know, but not cute when it's that time in the morning shouting, "Dummy!" All right, so that's what you do. Either 5 dummies or the one that you've got in there, point to it. and she has to find it for herself, okay? And I know you can do this, Laura, all right? Right, now I'm on to Carrie, and then I'm going to come and try and get to some other questions. Carrie's got a 4-week-old boy with reflux and a 2-year-old night waking at 4:30. So the reflux, yeah, very, very tricky, okay? As soon as you put him down, he squirms, and he pumps his arms, he grunts, da-da-da-da. From 3:30, 4 o'clock, he cries and cries until he can poo fart. Now, what I'm wondering here is, does it have cow's milk protein intolerance or allergy? That'd be my first big thought about this, okay? And I would be looking at doing an elimination diet, coming off dairy for between 2 and 4 weeks. There is a blog about cow's milk protein intolerance and allergy, and Julie will put the links up for that for you, Carrie. But I'll be doing that. I'll be coming off dairy completely. You need to read all the labels because dairy's in just about everything. It's in gourmet sausages, it's in probiotics, it's everywhere that it shouldn't be, okay? I'm dairy allergic, so I know how hard this is, okay? But I think that's where the gas thing, this is coming from. And the research says, come off dairy for 2 to 4 weeks. You've got to take calcium supplements, about 3 a day of 600 milligrams. But it's all in the blog, exactly how you've got to do it, okay? Haha, Laura's saying that Matilda does too much for Beatrix. Haha, she's become lazy. I agree, Laura. So, Carrie, I'll be doing the elimination diet. I'll be looking at that first of all. Now, she's got a 2-year-old who was sleeping through the night since 10 months. She never slept late, but has been waking at 4:30 for a week or so. She's now very sick, so we won't let her cry it out. But she's up for the day and won't settle. She used to sleep until 6. Any suggestions between the two of them, we are zombies. Carrie, I'll be looking at more layers of clothes. There's a lot of temperature control issues out there, and I think that's what most of this is at the moment. And particularly because body temperature drops at 3 to 4 a.m, I'll be looking at putting a wool jumper on her at night time. Has she got socks on? Is she in a sleeping bag? Is it cotton? Is it merino wool? Merino wool keeps the heat in better than cotton. So I'll be looking at temperature control with your older one, with a 2-year-old. But the 4-week-old, I'll be looking at doing an elimination diet. Look at my blog on poo. You did hear me correctly. Poo, P-O-O. It shows you the pictures of what poo looks like when you've got intolerance for cow's milk protein and for allergy. Okay? So you need to have a look at those and see, is the poo mucousy? Is it stringy? Okay? If it is, that's your answer. It's cow's milk protein, and you need to come off that and do that elimination diet. And I think that could make things a lot better. Also, baby massage makes a big difference with these babies. Lots of tummy time on the floor in the day. Lots of tummy time. That helps the gas come out. But ultimately, you need to look at your diet, I'm afraid, Carrie. So sorry. Chocolate and everything else is off the menu. Right, now let's just see who else has sent me some questions through and just see how much my voice might last. Right, so I've done Caroline's. Okay, Laura's, yes. Danielle, yes. Ali Muscat, she's got a 5-month-old and got into the habit of being breastfed to sleep, which I'm trying to break, but it's hysterical. He absolutely will not take a dummy. What do I do? Ali, okay, great question. Now, there's going to be some crying involved in this. You're not going to damage him. It's okay. But you need to allow him to cry to sort this out, okay? 5 months old wouldn't be too hard. I helped a couple of 5-month-olds this week, and I saw one on Saturday, and it was not that bad at all. Sometimes the thought of what's going to happen scares us, okay? And a 5-month-old, yeah, they're usually pretty cruisy, okay? Now, you're going to put him down the cot. You're going to say night-night to him. You're going to walk out, wait 3 minutes of constant crying. It's like Karen's 3-minute magic rule, okay? 3 minutes of constant crying. Go back in. When you go back in, I want you to settle in with hands on. There's a video on YouTube about hands-on settling. The second bit of the video shows you where the hands go and the fact, hello Liesl from England. I used to go to school with Liesl. Liesl has known me since I was about 11. So as you can hear, Liesl, my voice is shocking today, so apologies. Hope you're all good, Liesl. Liesl lives in the northeast of England and she's got twin girls who are now teenagers. So me and Liesl used to go partying together. I won't say anything else. That'll do. So I'll be looking at Alec doing some hands-on settling, and I'll be find that YouTube video. When he gets upset, pick him up, hold for no more than 30 seconds, put back down again, put your hands on the top half, stroke down the body because it takes stress away from the heart. Okay? If he gets very stressed, put him onto his tummy a bit just to calm him down. You can calm a baby down on their tummy, just that you're not supposed to put them on their tummy to sleep. Okay? Teach him how to roll over. Really, really, really important. Once they can roll over, then they sleep so much better. So they're the things I've been looking at, Ali. Doing some settling, and he might cry for 40 minutes to an hour. When you do this, it's okay. It'll sound like the mountain. Cry, quiet, cry, quiet, cry, very, very, very loud. Pauses, gaps, silences. Last hurrah, sobs. Okay? Go for at least 40 minutes to an hour. You cannot harm him. There are cuddles involved. When there's pauses in the crying, don't take him out the cot, all right? Because otherwise then you're giving him false hope that you're going to do lots of cuddles and he's not going to go to sleep, okay? Pauses, don't take out the cot for a cuddle. Escalation, hysterical crying, which sounds throaty, take him out for a cuddle, no more than 30 seconds. If you hold him for too long, again, it gives false hope. And within a few days, you should have a much easier baby, okay? You cannot break him with this. And good, do you feed, play, sleep stuff and solids in the day. I'm looking at solids too. Right, let me just have a little sip of my apple cider vinegar and Manica, my ginger, and then I'll have a look at Lauren's question next. So Lauren, hi Karen, my 13-month-old Jude was sleeping well at night, but he's now been waking up every 2 hours the past 2 nights, asking for milk. My question is, could this be because I've tried to cut down to 2 bottles a day instead of 3? Aha. Don't think so. Is it because he's having 1 nap instead of 2? Yes. I think that could be the problem. Okay. We are stressing because we are so tired and don't know why he could be waking. I would go back to doing 2 naps. I don't think he needs to have 600 mils of milk. If anything, too much milk doesn't actually help the sleep at all, Lauren. Okay. And that's what I would be looking at doing. Okay. And I would be doing some resettling work with Jude. He's not going to like it because no baby does. Who likes no being said to them? Even me. I don't like no being said to me. So, you know, Jude's not going to like it. But this will go away quicker. Now, GPs put doubt in your mind. Now, children only need 2 servings of dairy after 1 year old of age. All right. NHMRC recommendations. So 3 bottles and 600 mils, that is too much. If he's having 2 milk feeds and some cheese and some yogurt, that is quite enough dairy. Okay. So do not worry at all with that, Lauren. Go back to what I've taught you. Stick to your 2 feeds, but you might need an extra nap. Okay. But look at the food content as well. But look at, is he warm enough? All right. I know I'm slightly obsessed by merino wool and keeping kids warm at the moment, but it's fixed so many kids. It really has. Sometimes the simplest things fix the biggest problems. It really does in my world. And you know, the irony of the girl from the north of England who knows what it's like to be really cold as a child, etc., that I'm coming over here and I'm going, well, it's actually cold in Australia. Can we just recognise that we actually have winter for a change? You know, that's the biggest shock when I came to Sydney, was this denial of winter. And yet when I worked in Melbourne, I never felt cold, ever. In Sydney, oh my God, I feel cold all the time in Sydney in houses. Okay. That's Lauren. Thanks. 3 hours in his one. Okay, though. He's waking at 8. Hence why. He's waking up at 8. Aha. I'd be waking him up at 7. I wouldn't be allowing him to sleep till 8 at all, Lauren. Okay. I'd actually be waking your boy. And I would set that routine for him rather than him deciding what he wants. Okay. So I hope that helps you, love. Now, Tash. I'm going to get to Tash next. A little sip of this apple cider vinegar and Manica honey. Right, Tash says, my 4-month-old is a great sleeper, but recently after about 1 hour in his day sleep, he'll go from a deep sleep to screaming. When we go to him, his eyes are still closed. After some gentle touch, he stops crying. Is he maybe dreaming? Great question, Tash. Now, he's going through that Wonder Week, and it could be just that brain explosion that they have with their Wonder Weeks, with their change with development. And the worst thing we can do is, if he's asleep, is do anything to him. So I won't even put your hand on him. I'd actually not do anything, okay? Unless he's awake and screaming, don't put your hand on him. If he's awake and screaming, absolutely put your hand on him. So I always put a hand on first before I take them out for a cuddle. So it's the path of least harm, the thing that'll cause least trouble, Tash. It's a great question. But babies do dream. I'm sure they do, you know. Why, I think, you know, we think that babies don't know this stuff and can't communicate and don't dream. I think they do. So I think you're right, Tash. I think you're on the money, love. So I hope that's helped you. And Nicole says, Nicole Robinson, my question is, how do I get my 4-year-old to sleep in his own room? He was really good about 6 months ago. He started out fine, and he wakes up and comes into our room, but I can move him up to 5 times a night. Sorry, I'm not seeing this question, Julie. I just need to go back to the actual post itself. It's not... This is Nicole that's written it wrong because she was tired. Let me just go back to Nicole's question. Sorry, people, just hang on a second while I get to Nicole's question. I just need to make sure I understand this properly. I'm not quite getting to that. Okay. That's okay, Nicole, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm just checking your question to make sure it's correct. So I'm actually reading this correctly. Can't see it there. Julie, can you help me, please? Can you just have a look through Nicole's thing, because I'm not reading all of this properly. Oh, right. Sorry, could you resend it through, Nicole? I'm probably going to have to get to it next week, okay? But it's just, I can't quite make sense of what's been said, so I do apologise. I'm sure you were very, very tired when you wrote it, okay? Now, if we have time at the end, I'll try and get to it, okay? I can sort of understand it. Let's hang on. How to get my 4-year-old to sleep in his own room. He was really good about 6 months ago. He started out fine, then he wakes up and comes into our room, but I can move him up to 5 times a night. I wait till he's fast asleep in his own room, then about 10 minutes after I leave him, he's back in. Right, okay, Nicole. Right, I understand now, okay? So, you need to, when you return him straight away, do not let him come into your room at all, into your bed. If he's doing that, put a safety gate up to stop him, okay? So listen, you got prior warning. Return him straight away and hurry him up and go shoo, 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 okay? Because when you hurry them up like that, using body language, it makes them run faster. Tell him to get back into bed himself because he got out. Do not put him back into bed, okay? Tell him to put the doona back on himself, and he's 4, so he can do this. And I want you to sit by his bed till he goes to sleep again. I want you to wait half an hour. It takes children at this age 30 minutes before they go back to sleep again. So bide your time, Nicole. Okay? And then you just repeat and repeat and repeat. And it might take a week, 2 weeks. It might take a month before this comes perfect. Don't give up on it, okay? But that's where I'll be going with that, Nicole. So hopefully I understood that properly and I got to the gist of it. Right, Lily, twins, 11 weeks old. Struggle getting one to sleep and the other actually staying asleep. I've never rocked or patted and tried self-settling and calming them from the start. They're both formula fed, 100% now. I don't allow them to feed to sleep and only drowsy but awake for the night time feed after their bath. How do I get them to sleep without arguing and staying asleep more than 4 hours? Okay. And this is at night time, I guess. Okay. So I guess to wait for the nighttime feed. Okay. Right, and in the day, I guess they're good. Lily, I'm presuming that they're good in the day and they're self-settling okay. Do they have dummies? Okay, that'd be my first thing I'd be wondering about. If they do, that could be a reason why they're not sleeping more than 4 hours. Is their weight gain okay? Are they thriving? Where they're on their centile charts? They're all things that I'd want to know, okay? But again, I'll be looking at temperature control. How warm are they? I'll be looking at also doing some exercise with them in the day, get them to roll over. Because babies at this sort of age, the more you do tummy time and some rolling over stuff with them in the day, the better they can sleep at night time. I'm looking at some baby massage. I'm doing some massage before. I'd probably do it in the afternoon or the morning when you've got more time. But I'd look at some baby massage because that helps babies get to sleep and stay asleep for longer. Okay. One cries blue murder at any sleep. Yes, they both had. Aha, the dummy. Okay. Right. This is a settling issue, unfortunately, Lily. And that dummy is not your friend. Okay. Liesl over in the north of England, who has twin girls, she's saying, this is so good. Wishes had been around 14 years ago. Sorry, Liesl. I didn't know all this information. I've learnt it in the last 15, 16, 17 years. Many of my friends say this to me. Why didn't you know this before, Karen? My sister-in-law says the same to me as well. So, Lily, I think you've got a settling issue. I think you need to stop these dummies. And I think we need to work on some settling with these babies. You can either have me in person or do a phone consult. I know that when I come in person to help you, I can nail this for you. And at 3 months of age, 11 weeks old, these twins could be seriously easy. Like, I had some babies recently. I went to sleep within 2 minutes of me putting them down. And on the weekend, I put down, didn't need to go and settle. So it's about timing. It's when you put them down. I think you need help with this, Lily, to sort this out. But this is a settling issue. Okay, love? So that's the way I'll be going with that, Lily. And I can help you in whatever way. Phone consult, in person. If you have the money, do it in person, particularly because you've got twins. This will pave the way for having a seamless transition to the rest of your twins' life. It'll change your life, I promise you. Okay? Once you've learnt this, it is a game changer. Okay. So, now I'm on to Right, Jess has got a 1-year-old. She says, hi Karen, the help and advice you gave me to teach my 1-year-old to self-settle was amazing. Thank you, Jess. I'm glad it was amazing. I like it when things are amazing. Within 3 nights, she was asleep within 10 minutes and sleeping through. Now just to get her to self-settle for a day's sleep, can't seem to get it to work. That is probably about timing, Jess, okay? It's about your solids as well. It's those two things together. It's tryptophan-rich foods. It's looking at the balance of protein, low GI carbs. If you're giving pouch foods, avoid the pouches. Pouches do not give good sleep to kids. Okay, but looking at home-cooked foods, they will pay off heaps. If you're using pouches, just to add extra things to the pouches, like protein and carbs. There's the balance of carbs and protein and high fat. And then once you've done that, they should get to sleep really quickly within an hour. So I think this is food, probably food related and timing. Okay? So that's where I'll be going, Jess, and just let me know how you go, love. So waving the wand. Rebecca Elton from Canberra. I remember Rebecca. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this, Rebecca. That's very naughty of me to laugh. I'll just see what it was. Do you have any suggestions for bad language? I'm not the most perfect model of this. My 3.5-year-old has said a very bad word twice now. And doesn't it shock you? You can't believe it when it comes to 3.5-year-old. I know. We believe it's come from daycare as we don't use it. We've sat with her both times and had a conversation about bad words, but like to nip it in the bud. Okay? And totally right, Rebecca. I think it's a great question. Okay, so bad words. What would I do about it? You've got a choice. Ignore and just walk away when you hear this word. Okay? So literally you just walk away and you don't do whatever has been asked of you. Okay? Or you say, I'd like you to stop using that bad word and use your nice words instead. When you use your nice words, I will get you whatever it is you want. Okay? But it's about how we use that no word and the stop word. And there's a blog about saying no. Okay? I think that will help you. But it's just because of shock. And I think we tend to react to bad words, you see. So try and keep your face deadpan. It's like it's an ordinary word. You just walk away if you don't, either do the tack of ignoring. Ignoring is a psychological concept. Or you do the, I'd like to stop this, please, and do this instead. Okay? And that would really help with that. Okay? All right, now I'm just going to get to Hannah. And then that'll be it for my day, because I think my voice otherwise will pack in. Hannah says, hi Karen, my 8-month-old transitions from 3 to 2 sleeps 40 minutes in the morning and 1.5 hours in the arvo, but recently regressed 2 times 30-minute naps, and I can't resettle. I think it's affecting night sleep as she started waking for feeds again 2 to 3 times. I think you're right, Hannah. I think that's exactly what's going on here. Okay. Now she needs to be having about 2 hours in the afternoon and about an hour in the morning. So you're about an hour behind there with her sleeps. Okay. I'll be looking at food. So again, I'll be looking at home cooked foods. I'll be looking at avoid the pouches. Karen really hates pouches. These cause serious catnapping. I'll be looking at that balance of protein and carbs and high fat. Hannah, I think this is your way to go, love. Dark room, and I'd actually do some resettling work with her as well, using parental presence. So I hope that's helped you, Hannah. And Julie's going to post the blogs up there. So I've come to the end of my questions. So I must show you all the Shapeeze things that the postman brought me from the man cave downstairs. So this is the Shapeeze packs that you get to win, okay? And you get to win 2 packs, not 1, but 2. Now, Karen's dropped it on the floor. And these are for 2.5 to 6-year-olds. So you get 2 of these. You just need to look at the T's and C's on the Facebook post. And these get mailed to you for free. So you get $50 worth of prizes for toddlers, for older children, for whoever. You have to live in Australia. You have to tag Shapeeze on their page and say why you'd like to win it. I hope that you all get to win this prize because it's a seriously good prize. And next week I'll be drawing out the winners and I'll let you know by Facebook Messenger. So have a good week, peoples. Hopefully Karen's voice will be in a top form next week. And thank you for everybody for joining me. Alicia Smith, oh, I think Brooklyn's, oh right, okay. Whoever Alicia Smith is. Hi from Brooklyn to Alicia Smith. And I hope you have a fabulous week. And I'm going to Lithgow, so hopefully my voice will not be taken away in Lithgow with the cold. Keep yourself seriously rugged up warm and those little ones rugged up warm. Let me know how you go with all these answers I've given you today. And hi to my cousin Janice up in the north of England. And hi to Liesl up in the northeast as well. And I will see you next Tuesday for another Facebook Live with Karen. So bye from Karen. Bye. Kisses.